Construction doesn't have a technology problem. It has a systems problem. Too many disconnected tools, too many workarounds. Cavanagh saw the friction, and they were ready for more than another platform.
Historically, most software implementations weren't for operations. Right. These are off-the-shelf softwares meant to get some costing reports for finance. We're building it for ops. We're actually solving operations problems. And so there's a lot of hesitation at first, but when they actually see like, oh, you're actually listening to me and you're taking my feedback and solving my problems, you see the adoption just go crazy.
Especially for a construction company, like a lot of these traditional legacy softwares were made to be as general as possible so that you can sell them to as many people as possible. And a lot of it, I know you can speak to this, of just almost atrophying yourself so that you're working at a platform. But then there's this lingering hint of, I would like to be able to do this that way, but I can only currently do it this way because this is what we have. So it's finding the things that they really like, especially with legacy softwares or just even the processes in which they do, and then mimicking those, but then also keep in mind like, hey, we want to be able to get this done for you as well. We'll start here, list your pain points. What is something that can get you out of what you're currently using into Foundry so that we can take that data, use it everywhere else, and then we'll continue to iterate. And it's getting over the cliff of, okay, perfect, now what else can you do?
That transformation took a coalition. ForgeSight, Palantir, and Cavanagh didn't just collaborate. They embedded, they aligned, they built together.
One of the things we've talked to Palantir a lot about is just sort of this working relationship between, an organization like Cavanagh that, you guys are not a technology company 10 months ago, but now you're in the process of creating ultimately a technology company, as we'll go to market with some of the solutions that we've been collectively building.
Right.
You've got the Palantir team, the forward deployed engineers, and of course, Jesse, as a strategist on the account, working with you day to day, and then of course our team as well. So this kind of co-delivered model, something that Palantir has commented to us on as well. It's sort of the perfect fit of, Palantir partner, and then of course the business itself developing the skill set internally, which will allow you really to take over at some point when Palantir leaves and when we leave too.
We've got this really awesome synergy between these three groups where we're all learning from each other. So Palantir's learning about construction, we're learning about how to build Palantir internally, and we're learning from other subject matter experts like Brett and Adam in other industries. And so we've got this cool synergy where we may not individually have the answer, but between us all, we do. So it's a really cool partnership.
This wasn't app modernization, it was architecture, a true operating system for construction designed to evolve, scale, and perform in the real world.
A lot of businesses have all of the same problems. It's really just real-time communication, and our goal is to build these applications, for lack of a better term, or workflows in a modular sense so that they can all be interconnected. And so like I was talking about with the flower petals, by building the HRMS, by building your dispatch, by building your time carding, by building your Cavanagh Connect apps, your time carding, things like that, we're building them in a modular sense so that they will be transferable. And I think one of the big skills too will be just interpolating other ontologies and then making those workflows work for that business.
Custom workflows replaced rigid systems. Tools like development schedules, training rollout, and help desk workflows weren't bought, they were built.
Brett built our actual training and rollout manager. So we actually manage the rollout of all these tools to the field through Foundry. We also manage all of our help desk tickets and development schedule in Foundry. So you're not limited by what you can do anymore. It's like the software is not a limiting factor. You can just do what you need to do to get the job done. Since off-the-shelf softwares don't always play nice together, there's this idea that, well, if we just did everything in our traditional ERP, operationalized our traditional ERP, well, then the data is connected. But unfortunately, that has such huge ramifications on operations because it's an off-the-shelf software that works for everybody. So now you've just asked your entire business to fit themselves into this mold. It doesn't necessarily make sense for ops. And so our goal is to deprecate our ERP system operation. So doing your accounts payable, your billing, your job costing, your procurement. So we're eliminating that operational burden of using your traditional ERP system, doing it in Foundry, and then connecting to that ERP system so that we're still financially compliant, CRA compliant. We're not trying to go that far, we're just fixing operations.
The results didn't need a roadmap. They showed up in adoption, trust, and velocity. This is what happens when your frontline actually wants the solution.
But you can see the writing on the wall that people want the IP that we're developing. These tools are transferable across industries, across other construction companies, and you can see that it's transferable. People want it. C-suite is going to be able to just ask, how many employees do we have? What was our revenue last month? You're going to be able to do that when you build this way.
This is actively preventing me from doing my work out in the field that is going to ultimately cost us money. This needs to be signed now. Then having this clean ticketing system makes it okay. We can solve that in, hopefully 5 to 10 minutes so that you can get back on schedule. It doesn't push future work down the line, and you can continue to operate the way that we know and expect that we need to be doing.
You don't earn that kind of impact with code alone. It takes translation, empathy, and someone who's willing to get in the trenches with you.
Not only having kick-ass engineers come in and help us out, but it's also just having that unbiased third-party opinion where, we like to think we start from first principles or we're unbiased, but sometimes it takes an outside perspective to say, is that really the case? Is that thing actually important? And you start to go, oh, frick. Yeah, okay, you're right. So just having that outside opinion is actually really powerful because you can get in this echo chamber of this is how it's always been and still not see the whole picture. So it's been huge to have you guys come in and give that outside perspective, and also just have that insight from other industries. It's powerful.
Yeah, and it's like another gap. So you have your traditional either software devs or what have you, but then having someone like Adam, who's one of our colleagues, or myself, who's been in the industry, and we can make that even more direct connection to some of the end users. We're building these things because we truly understand what it feels like to be out in the field as a 30 or 40 degree day beside an asphalt laying piece of equipment. It's hot. I don't want to be wasting my time on something that ultimately is going to work or it's taking away from what I need to be doing. So it makes the development even quicker if we can break down those problems a lot quicker than somebody who hasn't potentially gone through that before. And we're able to, it ultimately speeds everything up, and then we're making less mistakes. It's kind of like now that we're not double counting, we're not making mistakes on time cards. I think it's the same thing in development because ultimately we get it, so it can decrease the time to results even more so in collaboration with pure software developers and people who have been there before us and know how these tools work as well as we do. And it's a really good center.
We're all speaking the same language. And so it's just the communication between the groups is so seamless. And funny enough, if someone was listening in, they'd be like, what did these guys just say to each other? Yeah. You say can you fix that one column or data set? And everyone goes, yep, got it. And not a whole lot of communication actually happens. So we're all speaking the same language and kind of having this awesome synergy going on.
ForgeSight didn't just implement Foundry, they helped make it inevitable. This is construction reimagined with Palantir, with ForgeSight, with vision.